Well, as the general election draws closer, Hillary Clinton's practices of Secretary of State, including her use of a private email server, have received increased scrutiny, leading to questions over whether she's fit to serve as president. And since day one, conservative watchdog group Judicial Watch has been at the center of that investigation, uncovering Clinton's missing emails and shining a spotlight on the Clinton Foundation. One America's John Hines has more from the president of Judicial Watch on the latest batch of emails.
We're just a stone's throw from the Capitol. Actually, I can see out the window here at Judicial Watch's headquarters. I'm here with Mr. Tom Fitton, who is, of course, the chairman of Judicial Watch. And Mr. Fitton, I know you have some new revelations here today, and I wonder if you could talk about those.
But we have new emails out of Yuma Abedin's nonstate.gov account on the Clinton email system, the same system that Hillary Clinton used. And they show a Clinton Foundation executive, Doug Band, was seeking diplomatic passports from the Clinton State Department. And that Bill Clinton was seeking a special meeting for another big Clinton Foundation donor, the head of Dow Chemical Corporation. And it just raises questions about what the heck is going on at the State Department. Another email shows that another Clinton Foundation donor, Chris Ruddy of Newsmax, also was advocated on, Doug Band also advocated for him, another Clinton Foundation donor, Chris Ruddy, to get some information or contacts related to an issue in Panama that he was concerned about. And I don't know what else in terms of information one needs to show that donors were taken care of by the Clinton Foundation through special outreach to the State Department. And the State Department was quite responsive. And Yuma Abedin, of course, Mrs. Clinton's Deputy Chief of Staff, was handling these requests. These are her emails. Another email shows that Mrs. Clinton wanted to do an event with the Clinton Global Initiative, another Clinton Foundation front, out in Ireland. And she said, oh, well, it looks great, and I don't see any conflict. You know, she's not the person to be judging whether there's a conflict. And she also explicitly promised that she would not be involved in Clinton Foundation or Clinton Global Initiative business. And this is just breaks that promise. And it shows that both Mr. Clinton and Mrs. Clinton were heavily involved in breaking that wall that was supposed to be up there both legally and ethically between the foundation and the State Department.
Now, talk to me a little bit about a diplomatic passport. This is not something that Aunt Emma in Dubuque can just go down to the post office and obtain. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, a diplomatic passport is, you know, a passport that gives you special rights and privileges as you travel abroad. You have special rights and privileges as a U.S. citizen, obviously, with a U.S. passport, and are supposed to be treated accordingly. But a diplomatic passport gives you certain privileges that you don't have as a regular passport holder. And it's usually only given to diplomatic personnel or government contractors performing government business. So if Mr. Band did indeed get a diplomatic passport, it would really be concerning, and it's outrageous that they were even giving him the time of day on this.
And of course, he was asking not only for himself, but for apparently a friend or an associate or someone.
Yeah, there were at least 2 other people he was asking for. It's unclear who those names are because we don't have their full names. But Abedin, again, the Deputy Chief of Staff at the State Department, said, you know, okay, I'll try to figure it out.
Certainly raises a lot of questions. The other email I noticed in here was Abedin was referring to someone by the initials of WJC, and I'm assuming that would be who?
William Jefferson Clinton, who wanted Mrs. Clinton to meet in a side meeting with the head of Dow Chemical, and Dow Chemical is a major corporate donor to the Clinton Foundation.
And they contributed, I guess, between $1 and $5 million or something like that?
Yeah, they would have been among the top corporate funders for the foundation generally, yes.
And what would you say also with regard to Miss Abedin? These are from apparently her, what you call non-governmental server.
The Clinton email account that Miss Abedin had, these are her emails from that.
I understand, and so a lot of these communications are on perhaps on behalf of Mrs. Clinton. She was her primary aide, and so one would have to assume that's the case.
That's right, and one of the emails shows that Mrs. Clinton sent material which is now more classified than Miss Abedin on this non-governmental account. You know, again, another violation of the rules against and the laws protecting our nation's security.
So it certainly raises a lot of questions. This most recent batch of emails that Judicial Watch has released indicate that some people at the Clinton Foundation were certainly involved in soliciting or asking for a diplomatic passport. We don't know if they got it or not, but certainly the fact they were making an inquiry raises a lot of questions. So back to you all, the studio.